This is the Defenders on TV Podcast Industries. We're wrapping up Daredevil Born Again a little bit late with our Josie's Bar Quiz answers and some of your feedback on Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Welcome back, fellow Defenders, to our Daredevil Born Again podcast. This time we're going to be chatting about our Josie's Bar or pub quiz for Season 2 and discussing some of our Daredevil Born Again Season 2 feedback. I'm one of your hosts, Derek.
Hello there, fellow Defenders. I am one of your other hosts, John. Welcome back to this slightly late wrap-up and bar quiz finale. Apologies for that. We have since dipped our little toes into Spider Noir, which we weren't intending to do, so I hope you've been following along with that. All really exciting with the detective noir feel to that series, and Nicolas Cage doing a great job as Ben Reilly.
He is, yeah, it's been really, really good. Yeah, the whole plan originally was that we would finish Daredevil Born Again, go on to The Punisher, see if The Punisher connected really well to Daredevil Born Again, which it didn't. It didn't really do a good job of much. And then we were going to do our pub quiz and a wrap-up of the season directly after that, and then the wonderful Spider Noir came along and dragged our eye away. So there's been quite a few emails in from our wonderful fellow Defenders asking, why the hell haven't you wrapped up
Get a move
show
on.
that you did a month and a half ago?
Absolutely.
There's also been a few questions on the boys, John, but it's only been me and you for the last couple of weeks. So we've been covering 2 episodes a week of Spider Noir. So I think we're okay. Eventually getting to our wrap-ups of each of these shows. So we are here to chat all about our Josie's Bar quiz for Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. Let's get right into it, John.
Indeed, yes. Fellow Defenders and, of course, fellow quizzers. It is the Josie's Bar quiz for the second series of Daredevil Born Again.
Yes. Will you pass the bar or will you not?
Who knows?
Okay, I tried to connect to the bar quiz with passing the bar for lawyers.
Indeed.
Did it work?
Maybe.
Don't think so.
Shall we get into the question and answers for the 8 questions from Season 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, first off, fellow Defenders and quizzers, we have our Episode 1 question, which is also known as the easiest question ever, given it was so flagged in the show.
And the title of the
and
first
the
episode.
title of the episode. But the question 1 for Episode 1 was, what was the name of the ship that sank in the East River? The answer is, of course, the Northern Star.
I know, I love that you even gave the clue of what was Sporty Spice's first album as well, as if people wouldn't know the Northern Star was mentioned about 150 times per episode from then on.
and of course, that was because we were watching a screener at the time, which had no title.
Exactly. On to Episode 2, Shoot the Moon. The question for that one was, what does Daniel cook BB Urich for their working dinner? It was coq au vin, pomme de moutard, and haricots vert, or as Dr. Bob said, chicken, spuds, and beans, but with fancy French names. So I will give points on any of those things.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, a bit of coq au vin. As someone once said to me, "Ooh, I do like a bit of coq."
Absolutely, yes. Don't we all?
Anyway, moving on to our third question from Episode 3, The Scales and the Sword. The question was, what 3 bro-tivational words are on the black posters on the wall in Daniel's office? Yes, it is grind, execute, and hustle.
Yes.
It sounds like a night down on Canal Street to me. So,
yeah.
Yes, business is interesting.
It is. But if you didn't get execute, I also gave you the point. It was quite difficult to catch because you couldn't see it behind one of the pillars that were in there.
Yes.
You had to pause it at a very specific moment. So
it really did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew that was going to be a little harder, but it was kind of balancing out the Northern Star one.
Exactly.
From, episode 1.
Exactly.
Yes.
On to episode 4, Gloves Off. The question was, how much does Mike the Matterhorn Melendez weigh? And an extra point for how much does Wilson Fisk weigh? They were 235 pounds and Wilson Fisk was 325 pounds. A couple of questions in on that from our feedback, wondering how both of them could be in the same class, because Wilson Fisk being almost 100 pounds heavier.
Yes, those numbers are just rearranged.
Well, yes, but the big thing for boxing fans, the big thing is once you get into heavyweight category, it starts with 200 pounds and technically there's no upper limit on it, so that's why you can have Wilson Fisk versus the Matterhorn.
Heavy stuff, I think. Let us get on to episode 5 and question 5 from the episode Grand Design, which was, how much money do Matt and Foggy have in their future fund? It was $1,700 even.
Now, one of the answers for this was nothing. Because they gave it away at the end of the episode. We were very clear that it was how much did they have in the fund when we talked about it in the podcast, how much did they have in the fund before they gave it away. We were very clear that that's what we were asking for. So they gave 1,700 quid to Foggy's former bully as a child.
Indeed. On to episode 6. Requiem. The question was, what test of loyalty does Book suggest Daniel use on BB Urich? It is the barium meal test, or some kind of diet plan his ma is on.
I really like that. Yep, really like that. The barium meal test is what that one is. The penultimate episode, The Hateful Darkness, episode 7, was what NYPD precinct is Karen Page taken to? Not precinct 13, precinct 15. And our final question for the final episode, episode 8, The Southern Cross, was what is Mayor Wilson Fisk's middle name? And it was Grant. Yeah.
I never knew that.
I know. I suspect we didn't hear it throughout the 3 seasons of the Netflix show. So it was a good little question to have for our final question of the season.
Yeah. Excellent. Good stuff. Well, thank you, fellow quizzers, for all your entries. We have 14 correct entries in total, each getting all the answers right. So you'll go into our electric tombola, aka Google, the harbinger of doom.
Eventually,
Eventually.
Yeah, thank you so much to all of you who've entered and gotten all the right answers. We have Adam Delling, we have Steve Brown, Dr. Bob Phillips, Rachel, Megan, Will, Dr. Neil, Ron Barrett, Ken Log, Conan Dorgan, Victor Von Doom, Coffee and Vodka, Keith Murray, and Drew Whaley, who've all entered and all got all the questions right as well. So, it only leaves one thing. Hey Google, give us a number between 0 and 14.
Here's a random number, 14.
That means the winner of our Josie's Bar Quiz for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is Drew Whaley. Well done, Drew.
Excellent stuff. Well, congratulations, Drew, for coming out on top of that, and well done to all the other entrants into this pub quiz for Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Absolutely.
Derek will be in contact with you soon for the goodies for the pub quiz.
Absolutely. And we also have a very special Jessica Jones comic book to send out to someone local, someone in the UK and Ireland. So, hey Google, give me a number between 1 and 5.
Here's a random number, 2.
Congratulations, Dr. Neil, who is going to get a copy of that comic book. I'll get in contact with you as well for your details to send it out to you.
Excellent stuff. Double whammy there.
Yeah, it's a big year, John. I know it's our 11th year, not our 10th year, but we're coming up on our 1,000th podcast this year. So we have a bit of extra stuff to give away.
We have it staring down at us in our podcast room, indeed. Yes. Yeah. First recording on the 27th of February 2014. Still going.
That's right.
Still going strong.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that is thanks to all our fellow listeners on the podcast. So great that you're able to get involved in the pub quiz. Well done, everyone.
Absolutely.
I think we should get into our final feedback on season 2 of Daredevil Born Again.
Absolutely.
First up, we have an email from Victor Cherry Von Doom. Greetings, Defenders. Another fine season in the books. I found the tension throughout the episode was extreme. I must question the Attorney General's deal offer. Kingpin killed multiple people in front of witnesses. I can't quite get past that, but understand the urge to quickly remove Fisk. I was very happy to see Luke and family reunited. Nice suit, Luke. The Daredevil Born Again Deadpool will resume next season, unless Powell gets it next week in Frank's special.
He didn't.
He certainly didn't. With wild odds, lots of candidates and suspects. Get your story straight now. See you next week. Excelsior, Victor Cherry Von Doom. Thank you so much, Victor, for the feedback, and apologies for our belated reading out of that. Certainly for me, I think, I miss the final podcast just due to other things going on. I thought there was a really good finale to it, and I think overall, like you say as well, Victor, a really good season. Yes, there's some sort of light touches here and there. Maybe you could call them a comic book moment, but it is coming from the comics. Unfortunately, with Frank's potential to add to the story, it didn't quite play out like we thought it would do.
Yeah, not at all.
And was, yes, very distinct from it indeed.
Yeah, we just thought it was going to be the next episode in Daredevil, just with a focus on Punisher. It wasn't at all. It was a completely separate 40-minute recap of the Netflix show, just done not as well, unfortunately. But thank you so much for your thoughts, Victor, on the finale and the season as a whole. Yeah, it's been really good hearing from you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Victor.
And the other piece of feedback we have is from Keith Murray. He sent in an email who said, "Hey, old Defenders, a busy time for TV watchers, and we are being spoiled for choice. Overall, I like Daredevil. I thought it was a huge improvement over the butchered season 1. I thought there was a big effort to move back to lean on the original characters this season. Jessica, Vanessa, Bullseye, all taking more prominent roles, while Cherry and Matt's law partner, I kind of forget her name, BB and Charlie, all taking back seats. Saying that, I love the character development and arcs for Buck and Daniel. I found the start of the season quite slow and tedious to watch, but it definitely picked up as the show went on. They are developing Heather, but I would still prefer the original Muse. I was loving the main characters like Matt, Fisk and Bullseye. Thanks for all your hard work. 4 I Am Daredevils out of 5. All the best, Keith."
Fantastic stuff. Thanks, Keith. I think overall it was a really good development of Daredevil Born Again. I think you're right. Certain elements within season 1, you could really tell that they were trying to rework it as much as possible. I still think they did a good job, but there are moments in that where you go, oh, okay, that's why we had that episode. I think it was the bank one, but it is certainly really good. I'm like you, I really enjoyed the main characters. Certainly for me, I could watch Bullseye all day. I think it's a really good story. I love Bullseye as an antagonist for Daredevil, always have done. Dare I say it, possibly more so than Fisk, although Fisk is phenomenal as well, and in particular with the portrayal by Vincent D'Onofrio. And I'm kind of with you there. I think Daniel and Buck, they're really good arcs that went on in this season also. Yeah,
they're brilliant. I'm so excited to see how the show develops. It does feel like the first season, it was a bit of a mess. They did sort that out. They got us to a great place in season 2, but still there were things lingering from season 1. They've sorted out now, and now we're going into a third season, which feels much more confident. Will they get a fourth season after the confidence they're going into the third season with? Please keep watching season 1 and keep watching season 2 to tell Disney that we want to see a season 4 of the show. Season 3 almost finished filming. Really excited to see what they deliver now that they've got all of the parts in place, I guess, for the next season. Really excited to see how the showrunners continue the story into a fourth season. Thank you so much for your feedback, and thanks so much for playing along with the pub quiz. We'll be back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Spider-Man Brand New Day next month. Before that, we're currently covering Spider-Man Devoir. We're halfway through that season. We're doing it 2 episodes weekly, so we'd love you to join us for it. It's way better than we expected, and hopefully we'll be back with Daredevil Born Again season 3, possibly in March 2027. It's definitely filming right now, so we're hoping it's going to come back at the same time next year. But as I said, keep watching season 2 over and over again so we get a 4th season of the show.
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you fancy something completely different, of course, then we have just covered Good Omens 3, the movie, that wrapped up the show starring Michael Sheen and David Tennant. And this time, it even has a guest turn from Sean Pertwee, who we covered in our Gotham podcast and who we interviewed on the podcast, as well as at New York Comic Con back early on in our podcasting days. So really good to see him show up on another one of the shows that we covered.
Absolutely.
So please check out the old Good Omens coverage as well if you are in that sort of mood.
Absolutely. If you're looking for something a bit different. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us throughout our coverage of Daredevil Born Again. I know this is much quicker than you probably expected it to be, but because we're covering so much at the moment, we wanted to make sure at least we close out Daredevil Born Again. And once again, congratulations to Drew Wally and to Dr. Neil and to all the rest of you who've joined us for our Daredevil Born Again Season 2 pub quiz.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, as always, fellow defenders, and in this case as well, fellow quizzers. Until next time, remember, keep watching, keep listening, and of course, keep defending.
Bye.
Bye.
On to episode 2, Shoot the Moon. The question for that one was, what does Daniel cook BB Ulrich
In. He's a cannibal.